Is going on, guys? How you doing on this late Saturday morning? I can finally say because I've beaten the clock before it being noon when I do any of my Saturday streams, but we're live. This is the Club of Demand 1993, and we are here live to catch up on some wrestling today. I'm going to do as many as I can today and as many as I can tomorrow with the holidays, surprises, other stuff I get taken care of, working overtime this week. I got behind on my wrestling content. But of course, as always, guys, I promise, I'm going to be here, catch up on this content whenever I am able to, and we're going to roll from there. So, of course, this was supposed to be done Wednesday night, but one, I had a little family project I was working on, and two, right at the end of Dynamite, I was surprised when my little sister showed up, and I was expecting her to show for Thanksgiving, so that surprise, and her dog and her fiance was definitely a great surprise for sure as well, given what's going on with, the pandemic and such right now, but it was a great surprise to have. So, of course, all that being said, I got occupied, and like I said, wrestling's not my whole entire life, but once I'm able to, I'm back up here, catching up on the show as we go on. So, yes, so we'll talk about Dynamite first. Again, I have Dynamite, NXT, and SmackDown to review. 6 turn alerts, and even though the pay-per-view is next Sunday, I'm going to do TakeOver War Games 4 card predictions and TLC card predictions as well, if I can this weekend. I have other things going on as well, but I should be able to get a lot of stuff done this weekend. So let's talk about Dynamite for this week, from the November 25th, 2020 edition. It's a go-home show before Winter is Coming, wherever they're calling next week's episode of December 2nd, where we will see Jon Moxley take on Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship. A very high anticipated match. Of course, I realized also that next week is also a go-home show for an NXT pay-per-view. And usually when it's whichever show is the go-home show is a show I watch first, but I may have to go with AEW next week first. And maybe, just maybe, I'll do live reactions. Depends. It's possible, though. I may do live reactions for that Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley match. We'll see, though. So yeah. But as far as this week's episode goes, a lot of smaller things happen. We had some bigger things happen, don't get me wrong, like the contract signing, the stuff going on with now Cody Rhodes and Team Taz and Darby Allin. Of course, Will Hobbs has now been renamed to Powerhouse Hobbs after his heel turn. So, a lot of smaller things happen. So, I wouldn't say it was as good as I had hoped for it to be, but still a good show. Good. We had a women's world title match that was solid. Couple other little things happen. We'll get to it. It was a good show. It wasn't the best episode of Dynamite I've seen for a while, but it was still a good show that intrigued me. What's up, J.R. Campbell? Again, my Thanksgiving was very good again. Again, I made the best out of it, but again, having my sister home for Thanksgiving for the first time in 4 years was a nice surprise and really made up for, not being able to spend it with all my family this year. But yes, but I thank you for asking that, JR, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving as well, guys. Again, still be very thankful for the people we have around us and the opportunities we can have during this rough time, so that's helped me, still enjoy my holiday this year. And I appreciate that, JR. But let's roll and talk about this show, and then we'll go from there. So we open up with a match with Hangman Adam Page and John Silver. Again, thought it was a good match. Again, keep Hangman, busy for now. Again, though, they kind of, again, have abruptly... Again, here's the one thing I don't like about AEW. It says if their feuds are not going to continue, feuds that are meant to have long-term storytelling, such as Cody Rhodes and MJF, or even, even Jon Moxley and MJF could have more of a story because of, how Moxley won his match. It seems like kind of drop the ball that all of a sudden, oh yeah, we can come back to that match now. It's like, no, again, what, where's the balance here, or something like that, so it seems like they're kind of doing the same thing now with Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. I mean, it could have had some time. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just overthinking or whatnot. But again, it's like, again, they there should be more, I feel, to Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. But this match with John Silver was pretty good. Again, John Silver's definitely someone in the Dark Order we've always been putting over to keep our eye out on. Again, some really good spots in the match as well. And then of course, Silver couldn't keep Hangman to stay down, and finally Hangman won with the buckshot to get the win. Afterwards, though, the rest of Dark Order come to the ring, and Evil Uno gets on the microphone again. Apparently, Brody Lee is out with an ankle injury right now. So I guess Evil Uno's kind of the temporary leader for the Dark Order or something like that. I'm not sure. But so Evil Uno comes out and says they're not here to jump Hangman. They have many regrets about how they've acted. And he's sure that Hangman has his own regrets. He's hit the soaring heights of being tag champs, but when he wanted to leave, the Elite wouldn't let him go, and that's a cult. He knows Page doesn't have many people to rely on right now, so Uno said him and his friends are here for him, and you know where to find them. So now I'm going to tease Hangman join the Dark Order. I mean, maybe this could be something for like a Hangman and Brody Lee match. I dig it. Could be another way to give. I mean, I don't know if I'd say Hangman would beat Brody Lee, but it could be another way to give Brody Lee. Either way, it could benefit either one. But as long-term storytelling for Revolution, sure. So we have that. The show. Then we have Kenny Omega being interviewed backstage. Obviously, again, the contract signing between Omega and Moxley didn't go as planned last week, because Moxley was attacked backstage. Who knows where? And who knows by who? Could have been Omega. I mean, it's possible, but we'll have to wait and see to figure out who it was. But Omega was backstage. He says he's had a lot of time to reflect, and it might sound cliche, but he's come to the conclusion that the more things change, the more things stay the same. Last year, almost to the date, he was nursing injuries that he got from Jon Moxley, which you'll admit. And they're about to do the dance again. But instead of him, he sees Moxley's face plastered everywhere, and people call him the best in the world. After his number one contenders tournament, suddenly though, the Best Bout Machine is back as the true best in the world, and the common thread that binds them is what John has and he doesn't: the AEW World Championship. Kenny has clawed and scrapped his way back to the top, and it won't be until he gets that belt that he'll be considered the best. So, it's no stipulation, but rather a challenge. For one night only, one night he's saying, Moxley needs to leave the garbage wrestling at home. Pin him, make him submit, hell, choke him out, do whatever he has to do in the ring with his own abilities. He closes by going off on a tangent about how his dad would beat the shit out of Moxley's dad, basically, or something like that. It was random. It's kind of going back to, what Moxley's promo last week about that, what Moxley's father taught him. But, yeah, basically, again, just this idea of, again, now this time, obviously, Kenny Omega is telling a story that Jon Moxley got where he wanted to be playing Jon Moxley's game. With, the street fights, the weapons and whatnot. If it wasn't for that, he claims that he would have never gotten that win over Kenny Omega. Now, Omega wants Moxley to play his game, get in the ring with him, pull on a 5-star classic. And we know, again, and it's a good question, again, look back to 2 years ago, around this time. TLC 2018, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. Again, that match should have had a stipulation to it. That was not, especially at TLC, that match between Rollins and Ambrose was not meant to have a stipulation. It was meant to have a stipulation. It was just a one-on-one match, and it hurt it. Well, also, it didn't help the fact that, again, WWE was booking, Ambrose at the time as some guy who just thought the people were stinky and whatnot, and that was the best way to give him heat, right? No, it made him look very hokey and whatnot. Now, as Moxley, of course, that could change. Again, Jon Moxley's not the guy who's meant to put on, 5-star wrestling matches, but, well, just one-on-one, normal wrestling matches without any, what's the word I'm looking here for? Like, any, other weapons involved. Like, when there's weapons, like street fight caliber stuff, that's where Moxley thrives. But can Moxley prove here, without all that, he is still the best wrestler in the world? Good story being told there. But of course, does Kenny Omega feel threatened still by Jon Moxley being able to pull something out with him being known as the best wrestler in the world? And maybe could that be why Kenny Omega may have been, had someone attack him? Who knows? But again, another good promo by Kenny to have their match for next week. We also have a promo from Darby Allin, who smashes up a car and invites Team Taz to survive if he lets them before setting the car on fire. Meaning that I think next we're getting a match between Cody Rhodes, Darby Allin versus Ricky Starks, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Well, Powerhouse Will Hobbs, he's calling it now. Speaking of which, we had Hobbs have a match next against Lee Johnson and squashed him with the world's strongest slam to victory. Again, now that he's a heel again, he's being called Powerhouse Hobbs, or Powerhouse Will Hobbs. Now that he's the third member of Team Taz. After the match, Taz gets on the microphone and it tells him to celebrate his win while he takes care of business. He's got a problem, and that's the AEW Non-Technology FTW Championship. He's sick and tired of Team Taz and the FTW lifestyle being disrespected. He's not leaving the ring till someone from management comes out here and takes the title and makes it mean something. His mic then gets cut off, but he calls ring announcer Justin Roberts and demands him to give him his microphone. He grabs it and says if this one gets cut, he's going to go to the announce desk and get a headset. And when his mic gets cut again, there. Which brings out Cody Rhodes with a mic, and he says he's coming out here with total respect and Taz is wasting time. Next week, if he can leave it in the ring because it's going to be him and Darby against Hobbs and Starks, that's not enough for Taz though. He wants management to give the FTW title the respect it deserves, and he's tired of this crap. Cody says he's here from management and he's listening, so how about this? He'll run it up the flagpole. And Taz is like, well, what's next? Will creative have nothing for him? Of course, best of luck in his future endeavors. Which Cody comes back to the ring and asks if the FTW title is so great, why is Taz's son training at Cody Rhodes school with him and not Taz? And which of course pisses off Taz even more, and he calls Cody pathetic, telling him that that was stupid. He goes to walk away, but then he comes back and it's when Cody's not looking and puts the Taz mission on Cody, choking out Cody, and which Taz's son comes down to the ring and grabs the FTW championship, leaving with his dad, while Dustin Rhodes and Billy Gunn come out to check on Cody Rhodes. So, getting a little personal here. I kind of like this a little bit. It's kind of like, again, they're trying to. I like how they're starting to treat Team Taz. Well, treating Team Taz more like their own promotion, basically. It only has 3 members right now with Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, and Powerhouse Hobbs. But I'm like, I like that idea. Basically saying he thinks Taz believes he knows how to run the show a little better than Cody Rhodes. So that was good. I like this. Of course, getting the Taz mission on Cody. I'm sure not going to be seeing Cody Rhodes and Taz anytime soon. But again, next we're getting that 2-on-2 match. That tag match with Rhodes and Allin versus Hobbs and Starks. It should be good. I'm intrigued. We'll have to wait and see, of course, where it goes with it. But of course, I like how he's like, we're going to do. Creative's not going to have anything to do for me and whatnot. Are they firing some more shots at WWE? Because obviously, Hobbs is not going to have much to do for him, but we'll wait and see. So, yeah, so that was that. Powerhouse Hobbs wins. Powerhouse Hobbs wins, and we get that pretty good promo. Then we get Eddie Kingston backstage being interviewed. He's not mad at Pentagon Jr. He's just really, really, really disappointed. Rey Fenix, though, is a showboat, and he kind of expected what he did from him, but not from Penta. Pac wants a battle, not the war. So this is going to keep going until he is satisfied between what's going on with him and Pac. Then comes Jon Moxley, who just got done feuding with Eddie Kingston, of course. And he gets up with Eddie, and Eddie laughs at him, saying, I got my own stuff to handle, and it wasn't me who beat you down last week. So then we have TH2, Angelico, and Jack Evans taking on Top Flight's Airwolf, Darius, and Angelo Dorado, Dante Martin, the Top Flight team. Again, I'm kind of intrigued by this Top Flight team. They had another pretty good match with Angelico and Jack Evans. Of course, I think since Jack Evans' original was with Jimmy Havoc until all the other stuff happened. A fun match. Again, I just enjoy how AEW, for the most part, I would say, have kept a lot of their tag teams very relevant, very stacked. Top Flight thing is already immediately getting that big momentum already from being put over by, didn't beat the Young Bucks, but was endorsed by the Young Bucks before their match last week and such. So intrigued to see where they go with them. TH2 actually wins the submission and spinning inverted figure 4-leg lock from Angelico on Dante Martin. Afterwards, though, they refuse to break the hold, but the Young Bucks come down to make the save. Okay? They're 0-2 so far, but we'll see where it goes from there. We also have Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose backstage, which Vicky cuts a promo about nepotism, calling Brandy Rose out for her overdue influence on the women's division, and contrasting that to how she doesn't need to influence Nyla Rose nor Jade Cargill, the woman who randomly came out and confronted Cody Rhodes recently. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on with that because it wasn't the last time we saw Nyla Rose. Vicky Guerrero was yelling at her after losing the match at Full Gear. A little confused by that, but oh well. We get a video package of FTR basically saying how their dream match against the Young Bucks became a nightmare and they're coming for the titles again. Rematch down the line, quite possible. Inner Circle's Chris Jericho and Jake Hager took on the SCU's Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian in a solid match. Inner Circle win with a lateral press from Hager on the Christopher Daniels. But afterwards, though, Frankie Kazarian lays out MJF with a punch, and the Inner Circle line on SCU beat them down until Scorpio Sky comes out with as like a madman with a steel chair in his hand, scaring them off. And it looks like it's setting up for a match with next week between MJF and Scorpio Sky, who obviously has been getting a lot of singles spotlight time. Out of all the members of SCU, Scorpio Sky has been the one getting a little bit more of the singles run. He's had matches against Jericho, because he was the first person to pin Jericho in AEW. It was a tag match, though, of course. Had a match with Shawn Spears. I believe with Cody Rhodes also. And now with MJF. So cool. I like it. Kip Sabian, Miro, and Penelope Ford are in a room to debut the new video game show till Orange Cassidy turns the console off and they brawl with best friends. Sabian gets power bombed into the side of a portable toilet, and the brawl continues even after Miro accosts the cameraman, and we lose the feed, basically. And then we have take 2 of the contract signing with Moxley and Omega. As Kenny Omega is making his entrance, the cleaning ladies come out and start running the brooms. Omega's behind the screen waiting for his entrance. Then we see another figure pop up, and it's Jon Moxley beating down Kenny Omega during his entrance. And then they break through, the screen. They get to the ring, and he throws Omega over the table. Belt in hand, Moxley lays it in front of Kenny and steps on his hand while he tries to grab the title. And he has a lifting paradigm shift on Omega on top of the title belt. He then gets on the microphone and says the only way that Omega becomes world champion is if he digs down deep in his gut and finds the Kenny Omega that everybody thinks he is, and climb a mountain that nobody's been able to climb in 18 months. Win, lose, or draw, winner is coming for Kenny, and this isn't a game. It ain't jokes on the BTE. It ain't dancing girls on brooms. When you come at the king, you best not miss, because he don't take prisoners. Steady your hand, aim, and take your shot, because you're only going to get one. And then Moxley signs a contract after he wasn't able to sign it last week, and the match is official. So, again, was it Kenny, though? I feel like we may find out in that match next week who it was for sure who attacked Moxley backstage. Possibly will. Who knows? So then we have the Inner Circle backstage again with MJF complaining about Frank Kazarian punching him in the face. Jericho demands their victory over SCU as fair and square and says he's going to make Kazarian furious because the next week they're going to have a match. He's going to get revenge for putting his hands on MJF and end his career. Hikaru Shida took on Anna Jay in a solid match. Hikaru Shida retained the women's title with a sliding knee to retain the title. Afterwards, we have Abandon, whatever her name is, crawl out, very creepy looking, and licks the title. I'm guessing she's a newbie and the next person to challenge Hikaru Shida. We'll see what she has on the plate. Okay. Then we have Matt Hardy. Yeah! Wow! Cut a promo. He puts himself over as a trailblazer and says he's decided to inspire us all to fight on after a tough 2020. If he overcame the odds, we can overcome our pedestrian challenges. And if we're ready to give up, we should ask ourselves what Matt Hardy would do. The answer, of course, is survive, thrive, and win. So whatever next for Hardy, we'll wait and see. And then we have another promo from Team Taz where Ricky Starks talks about how they love it here in AEW, and Tony Khan treats him great. But Cody Rhodes and his paper-thin ego keep getting in their way. And of course, this is the way to hype up next week's show. And we get ready for the main event. As we do, Eddie Kingston comes out with the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. And he was on commentary. And then the Butcher and the Blade took on Pac and Rey Fenix of Death Triangle. I gotta say it again, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not digging this feud. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just still again. I don't get the story behind Pac and Death Triangle. They were randomly thrown together before Pac went on hiatus. And, I mean, Eddie Kingston, I can kind of get that. But, again, the fact that they're going back to Pac, it's, again, something's just... Am I missing something? I don't know what it is. I'm not quite digging this feud with Eddie Kingston and Pac. I mean, the match could be good, but the story there, it's I'm so lost with it. Pac and Phoenix... I'm sorry. Butcher and the Blade went with a powerbomb neckbreaker combination on Rey Fenix. And then Butcher and the Blade and the boys continue to beat down on Death Triangle as the Bunny gets a chair, brings it to Kingston. He draws Pac up with a DDT on the chair. Aiden decides to call for another one, hits it. He's for a third one, but out comes Lance Archer who gets involved, and then, Archer basically comes out and saves Death Triangle and then stares down Eddie. I'm just like, what's going... I'm confused. Again, I'm sorry. I don't know what it is again. I'm just so confused. So now we're going from Eddie Kingston versus Pac. Now we're doing Eddie Kingston versus Lance Archer? Something's not meshing up with me on this one. I don't know what it is. It's just not... It's decent wrestling, but again, the story, it's just I'm not getting it. This is one of those ones that I'm just not quite understanding, but it's just me. And that's gonna do it, guys. That's my Dynamite review. Oh, I forgot to pull up the Twitter and see what grade people were giving this show. Let me pull that up for you peeps, and let me see what we got here. Forgot to pull up the Twitter, and did I really... Oh, shoot! I even forgot to share the stream. Let me also, that's probably why I didn't pull up Twitter, because I forgot to share the stream. Let me get that here. Sorry for sharing this late, but join me live as I review this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Of course, it'll be forever to realize AEW Dynamite was on TNT. Get the reference there? Haha, yeah, I know, cricket's being played. Anyways, okay, so let's see here. Who do we got here for grades for this show? A lot of my SmackDown tweets, SmackDown grades. A lot of votes on that one. Come on. There we go. Okay, so 7 votes for what grade would you give AEW Dynamite? 85.7% said A, 14.3% said B. Nobody said anything lower. I gave this show a B. Again, a lot happened on this show. a lot of like smaller stuff. Again, I like the stuff though with Cody and Team Taz. I like the stuff with Moxley and Omega. Everything else was good. It didn't like all completely light the world on fire for me though. And then again, that main event, again, the stuff with Eddie Kingston and Pac, and now Lance Archer apparently involved. Again, it's confusing me, and I'm not really following along well with that one. But still a good show. I gave it a B. Let me record one of my turn alerts. I'm not going to upload until all three of them are done, and then if I have time, I'll come back up here again to do an NXT review and just continue to get as caught up as I can tonight, and just go from there. So guys, that's my thoughts on AEW Dynamite. What were your thoughts on AEW Dynamite this week? Leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video, subscribe or comment my channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAirborne83. Until then guys, I'm checking out. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my NXT live review, and also be watch out for my turn alerts we upload as well, my SmackDown review, and again my card predictions videos I was hoping to come this weekend as well. So yeah, a lot going on this weekend. We'll see what we got. So until then guys, I'm checking out. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all shortly. Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I forgot to read the live chat before I left. I'm sorry. Hang on. Do you have a prediction for Moxley versus Omega? Probably Kenny, I'd say. Kenny could have attacked Moxley, which I agree. Okay, yes. Sorry, almost forgot about the live chat. I do apologize about that, guys. That's not me, but now I can say this again. I'm checking out. See you guys again soon. I'll see you all very shortly. Peace out, everybody.